Hi, this is Kendall with M3 Performance and Physical Therapy. We hope you've enjoyed our Movement Refresh series. Today, we're going to continue that series working on breathing and also just giving you some simple ways to improve your mobility. Let's start with our knees bent, our feet flat. If your shoulder mobility allows you to, you can put your hands behind you in this position. If not, we can kind of go ahead and kind of grab your shins. We want to just kind of pull ourselves upright, and we're going to sit, kind of get our weight onto our sit bone. All right, so either here or here, I'm going to have my hands behind me a little bit, and I'm just going to rock back and then get tall through my spine. And I'm going to exhale, kind of round, and then I'm going to inhale and really get tall, rock back again, and then work to get tall. All right, so just kind of rounding and then getting tall. Rounding and getting tall. All right, so what I've been able to do is just kind of roll through my hips to find some room. So your hands can be here or here. And I'm just gonna roll and find some room. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up, exhale. Now let's take your feet a little closer, hands down at the ankle. We're gonna roll down, get some lift. Inhale, we're gonna let the knees drop, and then exhale, back down. Inhale, allow the knees to drop, and then exhale. And so I'm gonna turn the face to you a little bit. Just kind of get, inhale, I'm gonna go from this position. Inhale up, exhale, feet back together. Inhale up, lift, exhale, back together. Inhale up and lift, exhale, back together. Then let's go with, we're gonna take our feet wide again, and we're gonna work side to side. And so if I'm facing you, get my feet a little bit wide, I'm gonna work side to side. And as I'm working through this position, I'm working on hip internal and external rotation. All right, and I'm just trying to find a little bit of length in another direction. So first we just went kind of front to back. This one we're gonna go a little bit side to side. So you're just trying to stay a little bit tall and working through that movement pattern. All right, so next, let's work onto our back. And we're gonna roll back, kind of lying on our back in this position. And we're gonna start really at our core, okay? So think about the bottom of your diaphragm here and then your pelvic floor. So we're just gonna arch up as we breathe in, and then exhale, roll back, inhale, roll up, exhale, roll back, inhale, roll up, exhale, roll back, inhale up. So we're just gonna roll the pelvis forward, arching back a little bit, finding a little bit of lift. Exhale, roll back. So we're gonna curl your tail under. Good. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll back. Now we're gonna stay there in this roll back position. So we're gonna be a little bit imprinted. And what we're gonna do is tuck our chin and lift. Slide your hands down, and then roll back down. Lift. Good. And if this is difficult for you, you can support your head. So you put just something on your head and then reach through your hands. I'm trying to swap here. Support my head and reach, just curling down and back. So if I don't want to put any stress on my head, I put a pillow or a yoga block under my head. And I'm going to work. Exhale, and inhale, come back down. Exhale, inhale, come back down. So just really kind of trying to pull the top of your ribcage down. So if you pull the top of your ribcage down here, it allows you to create some more tension. All right, so I'm pulling down through so I can get to the top of my pelvis. Now we're gonna do something similar with our legs. So from this position here, just trying to maintain some stability. If it's hard for you to maintain the position of your pelvis, then go ahead and press your low back into the ground. All right, and what we're gonna do here is we're gonna bring the left leg to tabletop, the right leg to tabletop. And from this position, we're gonna come up again, back down, up, back down, up, back down, and one more, up, and back down. Now we're gonna take our hands up, and we're gonna just alternate one leg straight, so about 45 degrees instead of straight down. Now, if your fitness level allows and you want to reach straight down, that's fine. But just starting off, we're just gonna go about a 45-degree angle from the ground. So just gonna point that foot, keeping the hands up above the head. If you have any shoulder issues, here you can always put your hands on something, like a couch or something similar. And so we're just finding some length. I'm keeping the pelvis here. Again, keeping the pelvis still. And then back. Let's hug the knees, pull your head up. So this way we're going to just stretch our low back a little bit, give our hip flexors a rest. We're going to let everything back. Take your hands up to the ceiling, legs out to tabletop. We're going to tap, toe, and then back up. So all I'm doing here is, again, creating tension, maintaining some stability, all right? I'm maintaining the position of my pelvis. That means my back is not just kind of doing this wave motion. Good. And then we're just going to tap, just alternating. Come back to tabletop, staying engaged, and relax. And you can pull again, whether you want to grab this way, or you want to grab kind of just the front of your shin here. It just allows you to stretch out your low back a little bit. Now from this position, we're gonna do something, again, a little different. We're gonna take your left hand on the inside of your right knee, your right hand on the outside of your right ankle. And from this position, we're just gonna straighten that left leg out. And if your fitness level allows, you can work up. If not, let's just stay in that position. And then we're gonna switch. So right hand on the inside of the left knee, left hand at the outside of the left ankle. And we're just gonna switch, and switch, and switch, and switch, and switch, good, and switch, and switch, good, switch. Let's do one more on each side, and switch, good. And then we can, again, hug our knees, just trying to release some tension there, kind of give the hip flexors a rest. The next one we're gonna do is we're gonna put the left leg down. Let's grab the back of the right foot, or back of the right calf, straighten the left leg out, and now we're gonna swap to the left. And just alternate there, trying to find a little bit of length through your hamstring. And you're just gonna go really as far as you can here in terms of getting a little bit of a stretch, okay? And we're gonna work through, let's do a few, just a few more here. And work through. Good, trying to keep your pelvis level as well. You're not trying to move all over. Good, and if you felt like one leg was a little bit tighter than the other, for example, my left hamstring tend to feel a little tighter than the right. I'm just gonna give myself an easy pull here to kind of get a stretch. Perfect. Then I'll come back, stretch my lower back a little bit, and roll to my side and sit up. All right, so from this position, I'm just gonna work. Again, I'm gonna try to get some length as I sink down through my hips. And I'm gonna pull tall again, squeezing my shoulder blades together. Get down through my hips, pull tall, squeeze the shoulder blades, and back up. Good. Do one more there. Then we're gonna go back to where we're gonna reach between the knees. So I'm gonna pull tall, roll, pull tall, and then come back, roll, pull tall, roll back, pull tall again, roll back, and one more, pull tall. Good. And so for the next one, I'm gonna turn to face you, and we're gonna do a little bit of a side stretch. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get your feet a little bit wide. So feet are a little bit wide. If if you're along the mat, then your heels can be kind of on either end of the mat. We're gonna start with the hands wide. We're gonna rotate to the side down, kind of like I'm cutting my pinky toe off. And then I come back up. And then I go the same thing to the other side. And then back up, down, and back up, and back up, and back up. And I'm rotating that back hand as well. There. I'm gonna do one more on that side, come back up, and then one more here. Good. And then from this position, I can just come forward and reach to the right, reach to the left, reach to the right again, and then to the left. Good. Now I can reach to the middle. Good. I'll get a little bit of a stretch there. And I'm going to come back. Again, where I'm on the mat, I'm going to take my right knee and bend my right knee up as far as I can stand. If you have any knee issues, then obviously you may not be able to get as much knee flexion, but I'm going to turn to my right. I want my right hand on the mat. I'm going to reach up with my left. I want to feel that I'm pushing through this sit bone. I'm going to reach up. And then I'm going to switch. I'm going to push into the mat, reach up, and I'll come back and reach up. And switch. And if you notice, I'm trying to get a little bit of a turn through my torso. I want to turn my upper body as far as I can stand, but I'm turning from the upper part of my back or my T-spine and my thoracic spine versus my lumbar spine. I'll do one more to the left. Okay? Now, if you can, sit with we're gonna get the bottoms of your feet together if you can sit that way. And we're gonna just pull tall, and then kind of slouch down into it again. Pull tall, and then back down. Good. Pull tall, and then as you work back down, try to get a little bit of a round, especially through your upper back, feel a nice little pull. And then you can hold there and just kind of rock side to side a little bit so you're rocking onto each sit bone. Good, and then we're gonna finish up, we're gonna pull tall again. So you're really just working on length here. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is kind of work through a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. And I'll show you what that looks like from the side and from kind of facing you. So I'm gonna start with my right hip. And so my right knee's down, and step forward with my left. And I come up, so I gotta stretch through this right hip. Come back down, and then come up, so I gotta stretch through my left hip. And come up, stretch through the hip. And again, stretch. Now, you can come up, I'm gonna go through the right hip, and I'm gonna shift my weight forward, and then come back. You get through the left hip, and I'm going to shift my weight forward. I'm just putting that hand down, and we'll do the same thing here. As I come up, I'm going to shift forward. I put this hand down, so it gives me a reason to kind of continue to lengthen the front of my right hip, and I'm also going to load kind of my left ankle a little bit. All right, and I'm going to swap sides. So I shift forward. I'm gonna put my left hand down now. If you notice, so this is dorsiflexion. I'm moving my front of my shin closer to the top of my foot, and then back to this position. All right, so now This is a quadruped position. We're gonna arch up. And then inhale, arch down, so that's your pregnant cow or cow position. Angry cat, pregnant cow or unhappy cow, whatever you want to call it. And arch. Good, we're gonna just do a couple where we go in between these two. Drop, down, up. Now we're gonna get flat. So now let's keep the belly button in. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn to face you a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to trace a circle outside my hands, behind my knees. So I'm gonna try to trace a big circle on the outside of my hands, and then I'm gonna come behind my knees. Again, if your hips and knees don't allow you to do this, that's understandable. Now I'm gonna reverse that circle, opposite direction. So I'm going clockwise now. I started going counterclockwise. And if I did that from the side, again, I'm just tracing that circle. I'm engaging my shoulders. I'm also getting a little bit of work through my hip. You can have your toes pointed if that's a little bit more comfortable. Pointing your toes actually allows you maybe to get a little bit more room through your knee. All right. So from this position, what we're going to do, I'm going to turn to face you again, is I'm going to come up to the side. We got a little bit of side stretch. So this is going to give me some adductor stretching. And I'm also going to work as I come into that position through the ankle. Good. Don't forget to breathe. Very important that we breathe as we work through these movements. So I get a little bit of work again through my inner hip and just working side to side. Good. Now I'm going to turn that into a little bit of a 45-degree step. 45 degrees again and step. Good. So a little bit different. So we'd have covered each angle here. We went straight when we did the hip flexor stretch. Then we went straight out to the side, 90 degrees. Now we're going to split the two, kind of with a 45-degree step. And then hold. And back. Good deal. So just another way to kind of continue to progress movement. We're going to do a little bit of a bird dog. Or we're going to do some bird dog. So from this position, again, it's that quadruped position. We're going to keep our belly button pulled in. We're going to push the ground away through the shoulder. We're going to reach and just alternate. Always fine to put some extra cushion under your knees. If that is something, if your knees kind of putting pressure on your knees bothers you. We're going to work through just a couple more. Good. All right. Now, from this position, what we wanted to work on is a little bit of hip extension. We're going to keep our hands kind of in the safe position. We're going to take your right leg straight back. And you're going to lift and back down. Lift and back down. Lift. Notice I'm not trying to let my hips rotate up. I'm going to keep them fairly flat. And so I'm just trying to explore the movement that I do have. Good. Let's do one more there. Good. And I'm going to turn so you get an idea of left hip. I'm going to straighten that leg. All right. And I'm going to come up. Good. And just trying to find a little bit of length through the hip as I kind of work through that process. And up. Good. And that's it. Good deal. All right, so now what we can do is I'm going to just kind of move my knees apart. And I'm going to work back. And then forward. And I go back and forward. Just finding a little bit of room as we work back through the hips. Good, one more. Good. All right, now let's work. We're gonna work back onto our backs. All right, and we're gonna work on a little bit of a hip circle. So we're gonna do 5 circles in each direction. We're gonna take that leg up, point your toe, do 1 circle, 2 circles. So think about maybe a plate, and you're trying to trace, 10 or 12-inch plate. Good. Now we're gonna go the other direction. Good. All right, perfect. Bring that leg down. I'm gonna straighten my right leg, and then I come back to my left. So I'm gonna come here, point. 1. Good. And then in the other direction. So at the top is when I count. And then I bring that leg back down. All right, now we're gonna go back instead of kind of working through and into a bridge here, which we can kind of work. I'm gonna try to get my pelvis in a good position. And what we're gonna do is an articulated bridge. So what that looks like is we're gonna take that pelvis and we're gonna roll back up through the pelvis and then come back. Fine, we're gonna progress this a little bit. Roll, roll, roll. We're gonna get a little bit higher and then back down. And so you wanna feel like you're peeling off each vertebrae or each bone in your spine off the ground. So I'm gonna roll from a little bit higher and then I'm gonna roll back down. Roll. Good. Roll through a little higher and then really kind of control back down. Roll a little higher and then I'm going to roll back down again and we'll come up and roll a little higher. Good. I'm going to keep my hands out the way. Good. And then back down. And the last thing that should drop is my pelvis. Did that a little fast, so I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna work my way up, and then I'm gonna roll back down from the top. There we go. All right, so that was just kind of working through a roll out. All right, so I'm gonna roll to the side, and I'm gonna come up. And as we get to work through, you can pull that knee to get a little bit of a stretch. There. Good. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna do one more on the left. Okay. All right, so that was just another kind of movement exploration, movement experience type flow. Hope you enjoyed it. I really have had fun putting these together, and shout out to each of you who have been doing this 10-day challenge.